An Oklahoma community that has been hit time and again by killer tornadoes is taking steps to ensure that new homes can better withstand violent storms. The Moore City Council approved 14 new building codes recommended by a University of Oklahoma structural engineering professor who investigated the damage zone following last year's May 20th tornado. The changes make Moore the first city in the U.S. to require such stricter codes, and it could serve as a model for the state and the nation.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries.
When it came time to vote on the new building codes, the members of the Moore City Council had no doubt they were doing the right thing. By a unanimous vote, they put the new building codes in place that were recommended by OU professor Dr. Chris Ramsayer.
You cannot continue to ignore high winds due to tornadoes here in the central Oklahoma, and that's a method to improve housing survivability and human life, save human life. It was a good thing.
The new building codes are estimated to add an additional $1,500 to $2,500 to the cost of a new home. And just to make sure that small extra cost doesn't run off any first-time home buyers, Moore City Hall is looking for a way to help them cover the cost.
Staff is investigating a down payment assistance program that would more than make up for the additional cost for qualifying applicants.
Community Development Director Elizabeth Jones says the new codes are not meant to turn a home into one big storm shelter.
Homes built to this standard will not withstand a direct hit from a tornado of over 135 miles an hour. This is not intended to be a storm shelter / house. Residents should still take appropriate tornado cautions at any time there is a tornado warning issued.
What also made the changes possible was the support of the Moore Home Builders Association. Marvin Hayworth is a member of that group.
To not address the issue is just a total failure, and it needs to be addressed. It's happened more than once. It's time that we address the issue and try to build a home that will stand up better to the tornado.
Already, others are looking at the changes Moore has made and urging additional communities to follow suit. The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety commended Moore for approving the new building codes and hopes other states and communities in Tornado Alley follow Moore's lead. Homebuilder Marvin Hayworth says he expects that will happen.
I think other cities will pay attention to this, and I think other cities in Oklahoma and Tornado Alley will take a look at this and be watching to see what happens in Moore with it. Some of them may pass it sooner rather than later, but I think other cities will look at it.
Moore City Councilman Terry Kavnar is also owner of a local insurance agency. Kavnar says in the long run, the new building codes will likely save homeowners money.
Long haul, rates are based upon claims. We have less claims, rates are going to go down. So, big picture, yeah, it's got to help.
And Kavnar says insurance companies that write homeowners policies are already looking at other markets to do business in besides Moore.
I think we're almost at a point in Moore, you have companies that no longer want to even insure here. Moore as Oklahoma as a whole, as well as rates going crazy. I think this will help that area immediately.
Professor Ramsayer believes the changes the Moore City Council has made will also reduce damage from the largest of Oklahoma tornadoes.
It will narrow the debris, the damage zone. You'll have less structural damage. Instead of 1,400 homes impacted, you would have a much smaller quantity impacted. You'd have less debris being thrown at your neighbors.
Many homes have already been rebuilt in Moore, and many more are underway. But there are still places where an empty slab is all that is left of a home, and new construction has yet to begin.
You can't improve all the structures all at once. This is going to take time, but every structure that you put in place that meets the new design code is going to reduce the damage to the neighbor who doesn't have the improved design code. So it slowly reduces quite significantly the amount of damage you're going to have over the entire path of a tornado.
Professor Ramsayer and other members of a team from the National Science Foundation also examined the storm damage to Briarwood Elementary in Moore. They found major construction flaws in the building that added to the destruction caused by the May 20th storm. However, before a second team of structural engineers could arrive on scene, Plaza Towers Elementary, where 7 children died, had already been cleared away. That will not be allowed to happen again. until a full investigation is done under House Bill 2312, which has already won House approval on a vote of 90 to nothing. The bill's author is State Representative Richard Morissette.
This bill basically says that you can't just come in immediately without cause, without reason, to bulldoze the remains of a building that's collapsed. And it's laid out in this bill quite clearly what you can and cannot do.
Morissette's bill requires a full investigation of any building collapse where at least one death occurred. It also mandates that whatever municipality had jurisdiction over the building has to supply investigators with all design and construction documents.
The comparison, the pre and the after. Now, it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the building that collapsed was designed and built in 2005. It was not the old building. It was the new building. Now, all of this raises serious questions about how we architecturally design and build public buildings, primarily schools and other structures.
In addition, House Bill 2312 provides immunity from liability for structural engineers who are called in to advise school districts on where to put children in buildings that don't have safe rooms or storm shelters.
The purpose, of course, is safety. Safety for our children, safety for our citizens. That's all this is about. It's not about big government. It's not about nanny state government. That's why we have seatbelts in automobiles, to protect people's lives.
Representative Morissette adds this is the time of year to pass a bill like this that has the potential to affect people's lives immediately.
Tornado season's coming. What better time to move this forward? Let's get this done. It's not about politics, Democrats, Republicans, or the governor or me. It's about doing the right thing for the citizens of Oklahoma. Just do it. Make the law strong so when you have your original designs and the building goes down, we can compare the two and know exactly the facts of what happened.
House Bill 2312 is now in the state Senate. In Moore, some home builders are already changing plans to their construction projects to take into account the new building codes that formally go into effect in just under 30 days. And sometime this spring, the final report on the damage Dr. Ramsayer and others found in Moore schools and other structures is to be released by the American Society of Civil Engineers.
The federal government is sending another $109 million in disaster aid to the state to help recovery efforts from several disasters. The city of Moore will get nearly $26 million of that money.